Hello, everyone. Good morning / good afternoon, and welcome to our exhibitor webinar for CHFA Now Vancouver 2025. I am Irina Costagescu. I am the Director of Events here at CHFA, and I am joined today by our amazing team at CHFA to talk about a few things that will help you get all set for the Vancouver show this year. So just gonna quickly go through the agenda so you know what's coming and when. We're gonna introduce everyone on the team. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the new Expo Genie portal, which hopefully everyone has already checked out. But if you haven't, you definitely will do so in the next couple of months. Then we're going to talk about your booth a little bit and what it includes, what resources we have available for you to help you prepare for the show and order everything that's needed. We'll talk a little bit about move in and move out, as it's a little bit different at the Vancouver Convention Center compared to other shows and compared to our Toronto show. We'll talk a little bit about sampling. So if you are serving anything that is food or beverage or needs to be sampled on site, you will need to pay attention to that part. Then Scott is going to give us some tips for a successful show. And then we'll just close off with a couple of reminders for the deadlines and with your questions. If you're thinking about something as we are talking, please don't wait until the end. Just post your question in the chat or in the Q&A. We'll check both, and we'll get to those questions after we finish our presentation. So with this, I will pass it on to Carrie, because she's next on the slide to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie McIver, and I'm the event coordinator, and I work with Irina. So looking forward to having you all at the show. Over to Scott.
Excellent. Hi, everybody. My name is Scott. I'm the Business Development Director at CHFA. I'm one of the ones you talk to about sponsorship opportunities and tips for success. Lupe, over to you.
Hi, all. I'm Lupe Fanjul. I work closely with Scott. I'm the Assistant Sales Manager, and I'm pretty sure you've seen my name floating around many times. And passing on to Cindy.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Liu, and I'm the Marketing Manager here at CHFA. And I'll be chatting with you about Expo Genie, as well as some exciting things and events that are happening at the show that you should take advantage of. So excited to speak with everyone today. All right, so I'm going to kick it off with a little bit of an intro about Expo Genie. So this was a new platform and portal that we launched late last year. And hopefully everyone has had a chance to log in and explore. But essentially, what this platform is a portal for you to access resources and exhibitor-related information all in one place. So things like the shop for marketing and sponsorship opportunities, and you can also manage all of your content submissions through this portal, and our wonderful task lists, which we have heard feedback from some of you that you've really enjoyed using it, is your one-stop place for you to manage your deadlines, submit your content, see what you've submitted, and if you need to make changes and all of that stuff, you can do all of that in the task list. So yeah, it's a great place. I would encourage you, if you haven't already, please do log in. As a reminder, though, the portal is accessible through one user login per company or booth allotment space. So please contact your primary trade show contact for those login details. You are able to share logins, so multiple people can log in at the same time. And a couple of call outs, because we have had questions about this, because it's a new portal. There are maybe some of you who are a little bit confused about where to find places and how things were done in the past and what it is like right now. So badges and exhibitor registrations are still managed through Microspec. So that's not done through Expo Genie. So you will get emails from our team about that, or if you have questions, you can always reach out to us at events@chfa.ca. Vendor forms are all still submitted to the vendors directly, but it is all just managed through the task list. So you'll see the task to submit it. And once you do that, it'll you are still submitting it to like Freeman, VCC, etc. Yeah, so if you have any questions about Expo Genie, how to use it, and things like that, there are some training videos that were created. So head on to the exhibitor manual to take a look at that to see all the different things you can do with this portal. And if you do have questions, of course, leave it in the chat and I'll be happy to answer that.
I will just be going over quickly about what is included on the booth that you purchased. So each booth comes with carpet. It's gray carpet. It's a standard. So anything that you want to change on that, it has to be requested separately. A back drape and side drape for the inline booths, and 4 exhibitor badges for 100 square foot. So each 10 by 10 comes with 4 exhibitor badges and material handling on site show dock to the booth. Incubator alley is a little bit different. So the booths are 5 by 10. We don't have 10 by 10s. That implies that we also have 2 exhibitor badges per booth, not 4, and it comes with a complimentary 1 online digital listing and a 50% discount for the physical product showcase shelf. In case you want to purchase that, just send me an email at sales@chfa.ca and I can just provide you with a discount, or I can help you to place the order on your behalf. All that information is also on the exhibitor manual that Carrie is going to be just walking you through that.
Great, thanks, Lupe. As Lupe mentioned, so my focus right now is on our exhibitor manual. So the exhibitor manual is where you will find everything that you need to have a successful show. We do have the exhibitor manual in 2 different locations. So the one place that you'll find it is, of course, Expo Genie, like Cindy mentioned. This first slide here that is in the picture, that is the Expo Genie portal. You can find that up at the top of the letterhead there. And then you can also find it at our chfanow.ca website with the Vancouver show. In here as well, a lot of things that I will be speaking about, you can also find on our exhibitor manual. We did a couple of videos for different tips to have a great show. So feel free to walk through those, watch those, and you'll have some great success. All right, next. The first slide that I'll talk to you about here is our official service providers. So we know we're very aware that there are a lot of scams out there. I know a lot of people do send in emails. They've been reaching out via phone calls, emails. They come up with so many unique ways. So this list here, just become familiar with who's on our list and who will contact you. Our official service providers will reach out to you closer to the show just to make sure that, remind you of upcoming deadlines, whether or not you've submitted, that sort of thing. So have a look at this list and just become familiar of who those people are. Okay. Then we have our display rules and regulations. This here you will also find on our exhibitor manual. Please do have a read through just to make sure you are following all the rules and regulations. Depending on your booth size, you'll want to become familiar with it, making sure that you're not obstructing the view of any of your neighboring booths. We will be coming around, and any infractions, we will be speaking to you, and you may have to remove your booth, cut pieces down from your booth if they are in the way, and we don't want that to happen. So just have a look through the display rules and regulations to ensure that you are following all those procedures. All right, and speaking of booths, booth awards. I know not everybody's familiar with it, but we do have booth awards. We do have the criteria online. So when we do when you do visit the presentation, the link will be there. This is a list of the different booth awards that we do have. And something new this year that we are doing, we're creating a little excitement on the show floor. So we're going to be announcing the winners on the show floor Sunday morning at 11 a.m. So Saturday, we'll be having our booth judges walk around, taking a look and seeing who meets the criteria. So here's some of the examples from who won our booths at the last show. But yeah, it creates a little bit fun and excitement, and we want everybody to enjoy it. So have a look at at that and see what you can come up with for some excitement in your booth. We know a lot of people also send, kind of that are new to the show are kind of wondering, hey, what's a good setup for your booth? What do booths look like that are my size? So we've just included a couple of snapshots of some great looking booths that were at the show. We obviously can't feature everybody, but here are a few examples from our standard size booths. And then on the next slide, these are some samples of the Incubator Alley booths that we have featured as well. Okay. And next up is move in and move out. So this, again, if you've attended our Toronto show, it is very different in Vancouver than it is in Toronto. So one of the main things, we do have our move in, move out floor plans that are available on the exhibitor manual. One thing different with Vancouver is something called voyage control. So this is all done through the Vancouver Convention Center. What will happen is about 3 to 4 weeks prior to the show, they will send me over a list of different codes for each color coding according to the map. There, I will send you an email after I receive that link, and you'll be able to book your specific time. So on our move-in map, you do see a time frame that you're able to book through, but on the actual link, you can select your exact time to move in. They do have a marshalling yard for the vehicles. There is parking on the surface lots, and it's free during move-in. Have a look at the map, just familiarize yourself with the different parking lots as well. If you're hanging any banners, you'll want to discuss that with Bridget. You can find their information again on the exhibitor manual. Cross Connect, they're our official logistics and shipping company. So if you have shipped anything with them, your freight will be placed in your booth before you arrive. So you don't have to worry about going and looking for it or anything like that. If you have ordered cold storage, so any of your cold storage that arrives, and even if it comes through Cross Connect, anything like that, you must make sure you have somebody there for when it arrives, because it will not be checked in by our staff or any of our team members, just for safety reasons. So, and we want to make sure that you're aware, you know that your shipment has arrived. So you do need to make sure that you have somebody on site to place that into the freezers and fridges. In regards to move out, a Monday, if you are moving out on the Monday, your pickups must submit paperwork to the loading docks. And again, we'll send you out a link as well for voyage control, because you do need voyage control as you move out as well.
Just a quick note about parking, because I noticed there's a typo in the slide. The vehicles that are sent into the venue, to the show floor, that's the part you don't have to pay for. For the lots, they don't have any surface lots. They have the parking lot downstairs, and that is paid parking. But when you come in to do your move-in with your vehicle, you can also pick up your parking pass if you ordered it ahead of time from the desk on site. So sorry about that.
Thank you, Irina. All right, so rules for move-in. Again, a couple of things that are a little different in Vancouver. You must have a safety vest with you and wear it at all times as you're walking into the show floor. Security will not let you in on the show floor at all. If your safety vest is in with your materials that you've shipped, I suggest you pack it with your carry-on, or make sure that you do have it with you, because again, they will not let you in, even if it's just to go pick it up from your booth. Again, no open-toe shoes, safety issue, and no children on the show floor during move-in or move-out. It's considered a construction zone area. So again, safety reasons, we do not allow children on the show floor during those times. Up next is catering. So catering is exclusive to the VCC. No outside catering companies are allowed. So if you do need anything for catering, there is actually a form that you can click on the exhibitor manual. You can contact Yvonne, who works there, and she'll be more than willing to help you out. Full-size sampling is permitted inside the exhibit halls, and alcohol may only be distributed through the VCC. So if you have any questions about that, again, reach out to and connect with Yvonne at the VCC, and she'll be willing to help you out there. And up next, I'm going to pass this over to Lupe for our early teardown policy.
Thank you, Carrie. So I just want to remind all the exhibitors that the shows, they run from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m., 10 a.m. starting on Saturday until 5 p.m. ending on Sunday. And we ask everybody to keep their booth completely intact for the whole time of the show. There are a few reasons why we ask that. The first one is because everybody that is exhibiting, they paid for the whole time that they're exhibiting at the show. And while sometimes it might be a little bit slow for some exhibitors, it might not be the reality for others. So we have to be respectful and remember that the whole time from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m., it is show time and the booths should be intact. The other reason why we mentioned that, there are safety concerns as well. So if you're moving something in and out of your booth, or if you're tearing something down, dismantling something, things can fall over and just hit somebody on accident and cause some damage to either another booth, products, or even worse, just get somebody injured. So we do appreciate that you follow the rules. If there's by any chance you need to leave early, please make sure that all the product and all the booth materials are intact, and you ask a colleague to pack it up for you after 5 p.m. Our team is walking through the show during move out time and a little bit before, and we're just taking notes and making sure that we reach out to those exhibitors that are moving out early, and we're entitled to just follow up with some warnings or even some notifications as well. So just be respectful. It is a great show. A lot of people do business really close to the end, and you're investing for the whole time. It is a huge investment for all of us. So just make sure that you make and use the whole time that you have there to do some business. Carrie, over to you.
Excellent. All right, so now we're going to talk about food sampling. Food sampling is a huge portion of our show. So in Vancouver, the rules and regulations, they are very, very strict at this show. So we will have Vancouver Coastal Health. They do walk around, usually for a couple of hours at the show. We don't know when, we don't know where, that kind of thing. So, we just want to make sure that at all times, everybody is following the rules and regulations that Vancouver Coastal Health has set out. So those can be found online at under the food sampling application section as well. Sorry. So what you're seeing here on this screen is the food application. So what I'll get you to do is you will fill out this form. You can submit it right on your Expo Genie account. In this next slide here. Sorry about that. The food sampling, you will select your file and upload it and simply submit it. If there's any changes that you do need to make, you can adjust those at any time. Sorry, just give me 1 second.
I can pick up for Carrie while she's having a sip of water. When it comes to food, you do have to submit the form for anything that you are sampling. The only things that are exempt are something that is prepackaged and offered as is in their original packaging, sealed, and everything. So it's basically the same as giving somebody a bottle of water that hasn't been opened or anything like that. But for the moment you open it and you cut pieces or you pour into cups or you do any prep work, you do have to submit the form. I know we get this question a lot, so I've answered it for you. You good, Carrie?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we again, we do ask you to submit that. And then what I will do is I will submit it to the Vancouver Coastal Health on your behalf with everybody. One of the questions that we do get a lot is how many samples do we need to bring? So we suggest 500 to 1,000 samples per day, depending on what's being sampled. And just remember to bring enough samples and supplies. So if you're putting stuff in little sampling cups, if you require spoons, all that kind of stuff, ensure that you do have enough because that isn't available on site. Again, this can be found on your task list as well as on the exhibitor manual. Okay. Next, we'll talk about cold storage, ice, and catering. So we do have cold storage space that's available for rental. We have fridges and freezers. It is available first come and first serve. The deadline to order your cold storage is March 28th. So you'll find that link on your exhibitor manual as well and in your task list. Ice can be pre-booked online, or you can also purchase it at the in our market hub through the VCC Cafe. It's again located in the market hub on the show floor. The cost for a 20-pound bag is $22. So again, that all comes through the Vancouver Convention Center. Next up is our safe sampling tips. So you would have received our exhibitor e-blast that we've been sending out. And one of the things that we did a couple weeks ago was our tips video. So on there, I would encourage everybody to, again, watch the safe sampling tips video because we do go into a bit more details with it. So this is just an example of how to set up your hand washing station, what's required, that sort of thing. Again, these are mandatory depending on what you are sampling, that sort of thing. So please be thorough and read through to find out if that is something that is required within your booth. That would be something that Vancouver Coastal Health does look out for. Again, if the rules aren't followed through with Vancouver Coastal Health, they will shut down your booth. And of course, we don't want that to happen with anyone. And if you do have any questions about any of the sampling stuff, again, feel free to reach out to me. Next up, I'm going to hand it over to Scott.
All right, thanks, Carrie. I appreciate it. So this section is a little bit of some tips for a successful show. I've been around a little while and I've been able to go to many, many shows and had a little bit of success. So I want to share some tips with you in hopes that you'll have a great show. Before, during, and after is how we like to look at it. What can you do to make sure things go smoothly and that you have some ROI on the show? So before, I highly recommend reaching out to your retailers, your distributors, the brokers. We got a promo toolkit for those of you that are sponsors, but even having your email with an invite in the signature, send something out to everyone to say, hey, I'm going to be at booth number, whatever your booth number is, to draw attention so that they, as people are planning the show, they come and see you. I highly recommend posting on social, do whatever it takes to send out your own personalized invite. It means a lot. Even if a retailer is going to come see you, maybe they're busy and they're not going to have an appointment booked with you, at least they know where you are and you've made that personalized connection. That's very important. The other part of it is do a little homework. If you know that you're going to be meeting a specific retailer, especially if there's one that you really, really want to work with, go check out the store. Take a picture of their set, visualize where you'd want to fit within the store. So when you're having that conversation, you really are educated on where you'll fit and you're doing some of the work for the people that you're going to be selling to. All right, during, have fun. We have a lead retrieval scanner information that you can get. I highly recommend scanning the badges because when you follow up with everybody, it's going to give you an Excel document that's going to make it easy for you to get a hold of everyone. Whatever information they put in there, the retailers put in there for their contact information, you're going to get, and it just makes things so much easier than have to go through a whole bunch of business cards or handwritten notes. It's a tip that I highly recommend because you're only really as good as the follow-up that you do. Understand your short pitch and have a short conversation with people. You're only going to have their attention really quickly. If you think about the fact that there's well over 900 brands at here, everyone is not going to have half an hour to spend with each one of us. We're going to want to be hitting it and moving on, getting their contact information, scanning their badge, and do a follow-up afterwards. A tip is don't solicit outside of your booth or the authorized areas. You can get a hold of one of us if you're seeing people blocking your area. There's only really one organization that's going to do some roaming sampling, and that's going to be Hive Naturals. You're going to see them walking around the Vancouver show. Beyond that, everyone should be within their booth and greeting and bringing people to you. My recommendation is also to arrive early and be present until the end. Lupe nailed it with the respect for everybody and not wrapping up early. Personally, I have had some tremendous success talking to people at the end of the day, like the last half hour, 15 minutes. People are busy. And if they can come and see you and chat with you and they talk to you and not the other people that's a beautiful thing. You're going to want to be there right till the end. Highly recommend that. All right, Cindy, next slide. Afterwards, follow up, follow up, follow up. Send a thank you email with notes on the discussion points. With the scanner, you can make some notes. If you get the app on your phone, it's really smooth. Send to your distributor and broker rep or brand manager, a little typo, but brand manager for follow-up. So for example, if you're working with a distributor or broker rep and you know that the retailer that you spoke to works with them, then send them a note too so that they can help do the follow-up. Usually a key account manager is going to have a regular routine of meeting with a retailer. So if you ensure that you're one of the brands that they talk about, then you're for sure going to be followed up with. It's very important. But also, I mentioned this already, but even afterwards, if you've got a lead, go to the store, visualize where you could fit and why you belong there. That pitch of understanding exactly where you're going to fit within the store means so much. Don't ask the retailer to do all the work for you. Help them. You're an answer to one of their problems of bringing innovation to their store. So that visualization of where you could fit, I highly recommend the after for the show is going to help you get more success and more listings. Right. Okay. So in our Expo Genie portal, you can order some things that are going to help highlight your brand, whether it is a product showcase, and note that the product showcases go up in price after this Friday. So if you're thinking about getting a product showcase, it's one of the shelves within the glass case that you see there, whereas people are going to plan their day as they're starting. They're going to see this at the bottom of the escalator and they're going to walk straight on through. They're going to see new innovation. So you can order that in Expo Genie, order it online, do it this week if you can. You're going to save yourself a bit of money. We also have something new called the Market Hub Sampling Station. So we have a retailer VIP program where retailers can come and they can get lunch just off to the side of the show. If you're thinking about the floor plan, it's walking in to the left. And there's going to be an area where you could be sampling your items. If it fits with, say, a full-size beverage or like a snack size, giving the full product away, though, to someone to supplement their lunch, you'd be perfect for it. You can order that on Expo Genie as well. We have some availability for the sampling tables at the entrance of the show. That is really a way for you to be one of 10 different brands that are highlighted outside of the show. So as people go in, they can grab a sample of your item. They're going to be walking around with it. They're going to be trying it, or they'll just put it in their bag and have it for when they go. But it's a really great way for you to shine a light on who you are and get your product into the retailer's hands as they arrive. In addition to that, we have digital advertising. There's emails to attendees. There's web banners. So check it out. Expo Genie. You'll be able to see everything that you need on there. And a lot of those things are going to help you highlight your brand specifically. All right, thanks, Cindy. Next slide.
Thanks.
Now we've got something really interesting for you. So a lot of people are going to be setting up before the show, but if you can attend the Friday conference, I highly recommend it. It is fantastic. Irina's gone to a lot of hard work to create this amazing panels for you to take part in. It starts off with her DE&I breakfast. Then it really gets into the panels. Check out the schedule. You'll see the link in the document. It's a great place to network. There's learning opportunities, whether it is about exporting your product to Asia, it's about learning about sustainability, it's about investment. There's so many things that you could potentially learn from this. I highly recommend that you check this out. Now, one thing that you're going to see that's a little bit different in 2025 compared to last year is that a regulatory forum, which at each show was held on Thursdays, is now moving to its own events in Ottawa, May 27th and 28th. And the reason we're doing that is we're bringing the Reg Forum to Health Canada. So if you want Health Canada and the government to show up to something, it's going to be a lot easier if you show up in person with them. And it's going to be a fantastic event. So if there's anyone on your team that is food science or supplement science or QA that they're interested in this, I highly recommend check out the link. Ottawa, May 27th, 28th. This is going to be a fantastic event. It's the inaugural one, so help us support this. There's a lot of good work that our regulatory team has been doing, and you're going to get the 411 on all the new things that are happening. All right, now back to the Friday. Launchpad. This is going to be fantastic. There's over $60,000 plus dollars worth of prize package for people to win. One thing we're doing this year, which is different than last year, is the judges are going to see all the pitches. Then they're going to deliberate for about 10, 15 minutes. Then they're going to come back out and we're going to announce the winner in person. It's going to be a crazy cool moment. From there, everyone is going to be able to go right across the street and go to our CHFA mixer, which is open to all attendees, whether you are a member or a non-member. There is a cover charge, as you see, for non-members, but once you get in, you get drinks and snacks for free. So really, it's not that bad. We're gonna have live music. It's gonna be a heck of a party. I highly recommend that you guys attend. And then the networking portion of this is just a wonderful way to kick it off. So my recommendation to you from this slide is check out the schedule for Friday. If there's anyone from the QA or Reg Forum interest on food science, send them the information for Ottawa, and then apply for Launchpad if you're a brand new brand and you're not quite yet nationally distributed. If not, come and watch it and then come to the mixer. It's going to be amazing. One more note is that we're now moving our industry awards to once a year, and it's going to be in Toronto only. So for example, if someone wins, I don't know, salesperson of the year or woman of the year, it's for the whole country and it's for the whole year. So the notoriety of this is going to be phenomenal. You're going to see more about this coming for Toronto. So if you're wondering why there's nothing, well, on Saturday, that's open for you to go about and do what you want to do. Friday, come party with us. Thanks, Cindy.
All right. So up next, I'm going to talk about the important dates and some of the reminders that we have. So on the next slide here, so we have our key dates. On the exhibitor manual, there is a calendar that you can print off or have a look at that has all the different key dates for the discount deadlines and when final deadlines are and stuff as well. But also on, of course, we have our Expo Genie in your task list. It will provide you with those deadlines. But again, take a look at the key dates calendar because there are different discounts that are applied. You want to schedule your shipment to make sure that it arrives in time. Checking out your display rules when you're designing the booth, being sure that you enter in your badges for them to be emailed, and then picking up your holders during move-in. Parking passes, the prices do increase on site, so you'll want to book those ahead of time. Again, getting your food sampling form in and submitted on time. And be aware of the delivery and pickup hours for cold storage and product showcase. So this is for the end of the show. When we do move out, we ask that your product is picked up by 5:30, as we do donate all of the food products. So after 5:30 p.m., if they're not picked up, we do have the food donation coming around, picking up anything that's left, and it'll be all donated. Okay. Our next reminder is about the exhibitor product attributes. So again, if you're representing companies, so your broker and distributor at the show, we request that you submit the product attributes on behalf of your sublet brands. And if you're an exhibitor, again, submit your product categories. This will be used in our show guide. It'll also be featured online on the website. So again, you can simply go on to Expo Genie and submit it in your task list here. Any changes are accepted until April 21st, but those will only be reflected on our website, of course. So, and that's about it for now. So I'm going to pass this over to Irina.
Yeah, we've had a couple of questions and actually a reminder since I did see a couple of people asking. We are recording this webinar. We will send it out. And we also post it on the website with the exhibitor manual, so everybody can have access to it, whether they registered for the session or not, whether they attended this or not. And then, of course, all questions that you're not thinking about in the moment can be sent to the different emails that we listed on this last page. And if all else fails, if you don't remember anything, just remember events@chfa.ca, and we can reroute from there. So we had a couple of questions about scanners. Hopefully, I've answered those in the chat, but basically you do need to rent it from the registration supplier, which is Microspec, because they produce the badges. So their scanners would be the only ones that can read the barcode on the badge that retailers will be walking around with. So that is, there were a couple of questions about that. And then I'm gonna pass this on to Carrie. Somebody is asking if you can clarify what the move-in process looks like. For example, if you're bringing your booth to the convention center, once you have dropped it off, are there carts to take it to your booth? Does the center move it to the booth for you? How does it work? And I think a few people are gonna be interested in that answer.
All right. Yes. So, so what's included in when you book your booth? We do have when your vehicle's unloaded, the truck's unloaded, Freeman will take the pallet and move it to your booth. They will only move it once. So if you need them to shift it around, Freeman's going to charge you. So be sure to let them know where you want it placed, that sort of thing. But if you have, you're carrying things in, you have a different vehicle, you need to offload some things and can do it by a cart or a dolly, those are available with Exhibitor services. So they'll have those all available there. You just need to hand them over your ID just so that they're aware of who has it. And we also, dollies are not permitted out in the front hall, say where the product showcase area is or anything like that. It must come in through the exhibit hall area instead. I hope that answers any questions.
And the follow-up question is, does it need to be on a pallet for them to move it? Yes, for a forklift, it needs to be on a pallet. Like Carrie said, if there's anything that is in boxes, you can just grab a dolly. You can even bring your own. Some people bring their own dollies. That way they don't have to wait in line to get the one from Freeman, but we do have them available on the show floor for smaller items.
One other thing I'll actually touch on as well is if we do have storage areas. So when you do have your like once you're finished with your pallet, just label your pallet that you want it for storage, and they'll come around and they'll actually move it and put it into the safe storage area for you. So you can, and then when at the end of the show, they'll return it to your booth for you. So just so you're aware of that as well.
Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. I've been answering them in the chat when they were more specific. So I'm gonna say, let's give it another minute for any last minute thoughts. And
Arina,
if nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, while we have some time and we're waiting for people to ask more questions, I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't accessed Expo Genie yet, you should have your credentials, you have the username and password. If you're having any issues, you can either go to the main page that can be found in either the member portal directly, that link is there, or there's a direct link on our website, and you can always reset the password. If you still have issues logging in, or you don't remember who the login is under, the person name or the address, feel free to send an email to sales@chfa.ca, and we're going to help you retrieve that information. Just make sure that you log in and you go through all the tasks. We have a few deadlines there for product attributes and logo submission for Incubator Alley companies. They're due yesterday, so the faster you go, it's more chances that you can get your information published.
Perfect.
On those deadlines also, sorry, Lupe, I'm going to touch on with your badges as well. So any of the key contacts, your main trade show contact, would have received an email from Microspect. And this email, it would be where you enter in all your badge information. So if you don't have that, if you need it resend, please let us know and I can resend that over to you. The Microspect team is there to help out with that as well. It'll tell you your badge allotment. You can enter in your team members, that sort of thing as well. So.
Thank you, ladies. Scott, did you want to add something as well? I saw you starting.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Launchpad. We talked about Launchpad, and I imagine there's a lot of people on here with brand new innovation. Well, we extended the deadline to the end of this week. Deadline was last Friday. So if you're thinking about it and you want to apply, I highly recommend it. We're looking for 8 amazing brands to compete. You got till this Friday. So I highly recommend that you, if you're even thinking about it, apply.
It's actually Feb 25th, so a little bit more time. We have a little bit extra runway there. So, yeah, February 25th. So, and I did see somewhere someone is asking about updating their exhibitor profile. So it depends on what information you're looking to update, but a lot of that can be done again on the Expo Genie task list as well. But if you do have questions, you can reach out to sales@chfa.ca.
Perfect. We had a question about parking, but I see Carrie is already on top of that. And then Stacy is asking if there will be a webinar similar to this one as we get closer to the Toronto show. Yes, there will be. Because some of the things are exactly the same, but some things are very, very different for Toronto. So we actually do this one for each show. With that, I believe it's a pretty quiet crowd today, but I believe we've answered all the burning questions. So once again, send any other questions, any new questions that come to mind to the emails on this last slide. If all else fails, events@chfa.ca. And keep an eye out for the recording, and we'll post the presentation as well on the website, so you can access all the links that I'm sure everybody wanted to click while we were presenting and couldn't because it was a shared screen. So thank you everybody for coming, and really looking forward to having everybody at the show.
Thank you so much. See you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.